Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Crack IELTS with Simmer in another video of Cohesion and Coherence. Now most students ask me, can I not leave a line and just indent my paragraphs? That's fine, you can choose to do that, but make sure your structure is uniform. But my personal recommendation is no more than 3 body paragraphs, because otherwise your paragraphs will be very small, like 2 to 3 sentences. Each of your body paragraph has a clear topic sentence. So this is my topic sentence, which is simple and short and gives my reader clear indication what I am going to write in this body paragraph. So some of the common cohesive devices that I generally use in my writing include. So these are some of the cohesive devices that I use in my writing. Overall, it brings more advantages than drawback. Such as is my favorite. It's very academic and I want you to use such as. When I say academic, I don't mean that it's only for academic writing. You are expected to write in an academic way even if you're appearing in a general training exam. I have written here the word benefits. And now in the next sentence, I am writing benefited. So which gives me score for 2 different things. So which gives me score for cohesion and coherence, and it gives me score for vocabulary as well. Now the one final tip I to give you on cohesion and coherence is make sure that your essay is easy to read and easy to follow. Use 2 sentences to convey your message rather than conveying something which is inappropriate or not easy for the reader to understand. I hope you guys enjoyed my videos. Good luck and keep writing till then. Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Crack IELTS with Simmer in another video of Cohesion and Coherence. So as promised with you guys that I was gonna make another video on cohesive devices or practical applications of cohesion and coherence in IELTS writing. So here I am. So we're gonna talk about in today's video about how we can improve our band score in IELTS writing by improving cohesion and coherence. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm considering that by now we all know what cohesion and coherence are, so I'm not gonna repeat anything on cohesion and coherence, but what I'm gonna talk about are some of the tips that definitely you need to know to improve your score on cohesion and coherence. So first thing I'm gonna talk about in this video is about paragraphing. So your paragraphing in IELTS writing should be skillfully managed. So when I say it should be skillfully managed, obviously we mean more. So if your essay requires 3 paragraphs, there are 3 body paragraphs. So if your essay requires 2 body paragraphs, there are 2 body paragraphs. So let's look at the script of one of the IELTS candidates. So not a real candidate. Alright, so as you can clearly see here, so we have clearly an introduction on the top, and then there's a clear gap. So we are leaving one line and then starting from the extreme left, and then we have a body paragraph 1 and then leaving a line extreme left, body paragraph 2, leave a line extreme left, body paragraph 3, leave a line extreme left, we have our conclusion. Now most students ask me, can I not leave a line and just indent my paragraphs? That's fine, you can choose to do that, but make sure your structure is uniform. So when I say uniform, it shouldn't be at one spot you're leaving a line and next you're coming and doing an indentation. So that's not acceptable. Your structure should be uniform. So when I say uniform, so if you choose to leave a line, then leave a line throughout your essay. If you choose to indent, then do that in your entire essay. So it doesn't make any sense if you're mixing both of these things. So just do one thing which you like. This is my personal preference. It doesn't mean that it will give you high band score, but it will definitely make sure that you get your best possible score for organization or the overall structure of your essay. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to have 3 body paragraphs. You can have 2 body paragraphs. That's completely fine. But my personal recommendation is no more than 3 body paragraphs, because otherwise your paragraphs will be very small, like 2 to 3 sentences each, and it doesn't make any sense to have a lot of body paragraphs. Well, in extreme cases, that's fine. You can have 4 body paragraphs, an introduction and conclusion, if you have different things and themes to discuss, but definitely not more than that. Still, my recommendation will be 3 body paragraph. Even if I have 2 or more themes to discuss, I will make sure that I will organize them in such a way that I'll have 3 body paragraphs. So this is the paragraphing in terms of structure. So when I say skillfully manage, there are few things that I want you to know. So the first thing is that make sure you have a clear topic sentence. So here we are talking about only 1 body paragraph. So for example, I'm talking about body paragraph 1 or I'm talking about body paragraph 3. So make sure each of your body paragraph has a clear topic sentence. So when I say clear topic sentence, it has to be a simple sentence. Preferably, it doesn't mean that you cannot have a complex sentence, but preferably a simple short sentence. So for example, I can say test takers should know the importance of cohesion and coherence. So now my reader would know that I am going to write about the importance of cohesion and coherence for test takers in this body paragraph. So this is my topic sentence, which is simple and short and gives my reader clear indication what I am going to write in this body paragraph. So test takers should know the importance of cohesion and coherence in IELTS writing if you want to write, or you can leave it like that. If you have already introduced what cohesion and coherence you're talking about already in the introduction or somewhere, it's fine. But if it's you're introducing for the very first time, you must say in IELTS writing or in writing, so that your reader knows that where you're talking about. So this is your topic sentence. Now, the next thing about managing skillfully paragraph is that you need to have within your paragraph linking devices. Now these linking devices should be used naturally. So my favorite linking devices are also and, as I've already talked about. So for example, test takers should know the importance of cohesion and coherence in IELTS writing or in writing. And now I'm gonna start why they should know the importance of cohesion and coherence in writing. So I would say the first reason to support, so I am sequencing. I'm going to write 2 reasons or more than 1 reason. So I'm sequencing them by writing the first reason to support. So I can say the first reason for this, or rather than simply saying firstly, I would say the first reason to support. So I can say the first reason to support is that, what is the first reason? It makes it easy for the reader to understand what you're trying to say. So that's my first reason of why cohesion and coherence are important in IELTS writing. And then I will say this also helps too. So I am using this also to make reference to cohesion and coherence, and then I am using also. So I'm using also because I wanted to link two things. So I hope that makes sense. So all the cohesive devices that you use in essay, they need to be used in such a way that they are very natural and they do not attract the attention of your reader that why you are using these cohesive devices. I hope that makes sense. So we can talk about some of the cohesive devices as well. So some of the common cohesive devices that I generally use in my writing include, so I'm saying this is not the comprehensive list, but just for your guys' reference, I'll give you the important words that I use. So right. So these are some of the cohesive devices that I use in my writing. This is not the comprehensive list, but these are the most common ones that I generally use in my essays. So also, obviously, we use also to add an additional point. So for example, I'm writing the benefit of something, and I've written I've written a benefit, and I will say it is also beneficial in. So another benefit, so this is also beneficial in. So that's what, so this reminds me another that I use. So I'll just write another here. Further. So if I'm extending an idea, I will say further. So and obviously it's a conjunction that I use to link two sentences. Hence, so I use hence when I'm writing the conclusion or result of something. So when I'm writing, for example, processes in task 1 in academic writing, or I'm writing an essay and then I wanted to write the result of something, I'll use the cohesive device hence. In contrast, when I'm comparing two things, so I have written something and then I'm gonna write opposite to it, so I will say in contrast. Then we have therefore, hence, therefore, as a result, thus. So for we write for the results. So for example, as a result. So this reminds me two more cohesive devices. So to give examples, I use for instance, such as, or very rarely I use like or for example. So I use on the other hand, and I also use on the one hand. Additionally, when I'm making an additional point in regards to. So I want you all to be using these two words in your writing because they are very nice words in terms of giving good impression on your reader. So for example, I'm writing something eco-friendly. Using eco-friendly products brings benefits for both individuals as well as government. So I've got the benefits of eco-friendly products for governments and individuals. So when I have to put that into practice, I'm actually gonna mention benefits for individuals and government. So I will say in terms of benefits to government. So I'm introducing something by writing in terms of or in regards to benefits or in regards to individual benefits. I hope that makes sense. So this is actually important when you're writing for two things, and then you're gonna actually put one thing first and the other thing next. So in some more videos where we're gonna practically look at writing some of the tasks, you'll know how I use in regards to and how I use in terms of. So the next one is however. So you've written something and now you want to contrast it, you use the word however. I know most of you would be very familiar with using this word and it is very academic, so you should use this word however. So when we are specifically focusing on something, you should use the word especially and particularly. So for example, I will say this will have a huge impact on city people, especially the ones living closer to the coast areas. So I'm talking about impact of something on city people, but I'm talking about specifically the ones who are living closer to the coastal areas. So make sure that you remember these two words, especially and particularly. So these are used when we are making specific references to something in a bigger group. And then although and however are both academic, they're used in same context, overall and generally. So when you're writing something and you're trying to give an overall view of something, you use these words, So overall and generally, they're used in academic writing. When you're writing the overview, you say overall this, or you say generally this. They can also be used in essay when you're giving gist of something. Overall, it's beneficial for, or overall, it brings more advantages than drawbacks. This reminds me one more, which is in conclusion. So when you're writing the conclusion of your essay, so you should use this cohesive device, in conclusion. There are multiple cohesive devices that you found, but my favorite one is in conclusion. So I will encourage you to use in conclusion. I've already got it here. And to give examples, use for instance, such as. Such as is my favorite. It's very academic and I want you to use such as. When I say academic, I don't mean that it's only for academic writing. You are expected to write in an academic way even if you're appearing in a general training exam. So that's very important. So use for instance, such as, because these words are academic. As I said, I very rarely use like, so that's in informal letters when we are writing to a friend. For example is also the one that you could use. So these are some of the most common cohesive devices that I use in my essays, which I will encourage you to use as well. I know you might know some more, like furthermore, moreover, so feel free to use them if you're using them naturally. And there are a lot of websites online where you can find more cohesive devices. My personal recommendation is stick to these cohesive devices and learn how to use them naturally rather than using a lot of cohesive devices. Hope that helps. Alright, so now that you know how to skillfully manage the paragraphing and how to skillfully use the cohesive devices, the next thing that I'm going to talk about here is about referencing. So when you have already written something in your sentence and you're making reference to it, it's called referencing or the reference. So let's take some of the words that you can use for referencing. So words like they, them, it, the are generally used to make references to something that you have already mentioned in the paragraph. So let's take an example. So now you can say, I've written people get free benefits of something, and then I'm writing they can be. Now you could see I have written here the word benefits, and now in the next sentence I am writing benefited. So which gives me score for two different things. So which gives me score for cohesion and coherence, and it gives me score for vocabulary as well. So I'm actually trying to link the word benefits and I'm also making references. So this is just one example of how you can make references. You might want to practice some more on the use of reference. So I will encourage you guys to write some paragraphs on your favorite topics and get your assessor or get your teacher to give you some feedback on whether or not you're using them correctly. I just want to let you guys know, if you are not using referencing correctly in your essay, you won't be able to get over a band 6 in cohesion and coherence, because that's what the band descriptors say. If you don't have substitution and referencing in your essay, you will end up getting a band 5 in cohesion and coherence, which is the worst. So use it and use it correctly. And I'll encourage you guys to get your teachers to correct whether or not you're using it correctly. Now, the one final tip is to give you on cohesion and coherence is make sure that your essay is easy to read and easy to follow. I have already talked about that in your previous in our previous video, where we have talked about practical tips to achieve band 7, but here I would like to tell you how that's possible. So make sure that you don't have So these are some of my tips on how your essay can be easy to read. So the first thing is not to write very long sentences. Sometimes you have multiple things to say, so divide your sentence into parts. So do not write a very long sentence. Just put a full stop at one point and write another sentence using a correct cohesive device, like also, and, on the other hand. So whichever is suitable at that particular point. Use 2 sentences to write your to convey your message. So use 2 sentences to convey your message rather than conveying something which is inappropriate or not easy for the reader to understand. So the next thing is not use the words that you are unsure about. I would never use a word in my essay which I am not 100% sure about. This is because if I am not sure, that's definitely not something quite right. So I would want to use a word that I am 100% sure about, and so my examiner knows that what I am writing. Use simple sentences when you can. So what does that mean? So generally there are times when you can actually use simple sentences rather than very complex or complicated long sentences. There are opportunities that will come up in your essay where you can use the long and complex sentences, but that shouldn't be a lot. So when you can, use simple and short sentences, and complex sentences only occasionally when you are correctly using them. So this is really important for cohesion and coherence in your essay. I know there are some of the native English language speakers who can have throughout in their writing very complex sentences and do not make any errors and still make it very easy to understand. So this advice is for those test takers. I would say most of the test takers who are aiming to achieve a 7, but because of small errors in their writing, they're ending up getting a 6.5 every time, or a band 6 every time. So make sure that you're writing error-free, simple, easy to read essay in your IELTS writing, so that you can get your dream score of band 7. I hope that's useful, some of the tips that I have shared with you guys in this video, and hope the next time you're taking the text, you're paying more attention to cohesion and coherence and skillfully manages the paragraph and giving message to the readers that's easy to follow, and using the referencing correctly, using the substitution and reference in a sense or in a way that are easy for your reader to understand the whole meaning of your written script. Till then, I wish you guys good luck, and I'll see you guys in another video. Please make sure you like and comment on the video. That will let me know what else we could do to help you guys, and obviously subscribe my channel to support me guys, in order for me to make more videos for you guys, so that we can come up with some more good videos on IELTS, so that most of the test takers can get a band 7 and over in their IELTS writing. I hope you guys enjoyed my videos. Good luck and keep writing till then.